Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another important live video update tonight. Now, before I begin tonight's video, first up, I do just want to clarify and or clear up a comment that I made on my last video update last week. Now, as I've said many times on these videos before, I make more mistakes than most people. I'm the first person to put up my hand if I do make a mistake. I've got no problem with that at all. And whilst this wasn't technically a mistake as such, I do want to be upfront with everybody. I want to be crystal clear with regards to what I said. So on the last video, I held up a screenshot that looked like that claimed to be a message that was supposedly sent to a CBA customer. Now, I did very clearly say when I held that up last week that I couldn't vouch for its authenticity, and I did urge people to do their own research to find out whether it was true or not. Now, it does turn out that it was actually a fake message, and this is what the CBA had to say in relation to it. So this is the article for those who want to look it up. It says CBA responds to customer uproar over bank going cashless. So the first bit of good news, of course, is that people did take that on board and there was uproar, and they did send a loud and clear message to the CBA, and obviously to such a degree that they felt like they've had to come up with some kind of response. So that's certainly a very good sign. Anyway, the article says a fake Commonwealth Bank screenshot has been doing the rounds as the major bank says it has no plans to go cashless. A CBA screenshot claiming the bank is phasing out ATMs and going cashless has caused outrage among customers, but not everything is what it seems. The screenshot, which has been widely shared on social media, claims the major bank will be phasing out all ATMs in Queensland by mid-July, with other states to follow. We here at Commonwealth Bank look forward to what a cashless society will bring to Australia, the supposed message from the bank reads. A CBA spokesperson confirmed the screenshot was fake and debunked the claims made in the image as false. This is a fake screenshot, the spokesperson told Yahoo Finance. While we're investing in our digital services where the majority of customers are engaging with us, we know access to cash remains important, and we certainly have no plans to phase out ATMs or stop providing cash. We'll come back to that. Many customers expressed their outrage over the screenshot before realising it was fake, with one urging customers withdraw their money from the bank and another calling for a boycott. While CBA has ruled out going cashless or phasing out ATMs completely, the major bank has reduced the number of access points to cash for customers in recent years. In the past 5 years, the bank has closed 354 branches and 2,297 ATMs across the country. They've closed 354 branches and closed over 2,000 ATMs. So when they say they're committed to giving their customers what they need, and they understand that cash is important, it seems like their actions don't really seem to be in line with what they're saying. But look, again, I want to make the point. I did say I wasn't sure if that was true or not, and I did urge people to look at it and research for themselves. And as always, with anything that you come across, okay, please make sure you do your own research to confirm, verify, and validate any information, no matter where you get it, whether it's from these videos or anywhere else there, on the internet. Now, having read that reply from the CBA, I do also feel that it's important to share a personal experience that I had with them just today in the Melbourne CBD. Now, anyone who knows the Melbourne CBD well will know that all four major banks, so that's CBA, NAB, ANZ, and Westpac, are all essentially within one block of each other on Collins Street. Now, I had a need to actually deposit some cash into a CBA account today, so naturally I went to their main branch on Collins Street, only to be told that they were a cashless service centre. Now, I'm not sure who or what they were servicing, pretty much their own needs, I'm guessing, but it certainly wasn't their customers' needs. So I know that in that article I just read out, they claim that they're not going cashless, but when your main branch on Collins Street in the Melbourne CBD is clearly cashless, I would pretty much take that statement with a grain of salt. And let's not, of course, forget that the CBA actually owns Bank West, and Bank West have definitely chosen to go cashless. So again, I'll leave it with you guys to decide what you want to do with that information. But I did just want to clear up that point in regards to that screenshot and in regards to what the CBA are now claiming in regards to whether they're going cashless or not. Now, of course, on this topic of this relentless cashless push, which we're all experiencing every day, this is another very timely reminder to please add your signature to Jason's petition, and that, of course, is the one to legislate a formal cash and banking guarantee in this country. Again, there's a link going up in the comment section. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. It's in the comment section. If you're watching this on another platform, you won't see it in the comment section, so you need to do an online search for petition to legislate a formal cash and banking guarantee. It's not difficult, people. Okay. Of course, please make sure you also join our Call Out Cashless Businesses Facebook group. Again, you'll find a link in the comment section of this video on Facebook. You won't find it on YouTube. And again, it's very important that we keep calling out, naming and shaming those businesses that refuse to accept cash, and of course promoting those that do choose to accept it. And again, don't forget our sister group, the Cash is King discussion group. Again, you'll find it on Facebook. You'll find a link in the comment section. Okay, and that again is another great place to share these videos, share these sorts of articles around, and let people know the issues with this push towards cashless society, CBDCs, why cash is king, all those sorts of things. All right, so on a completely different topic, one that I've been meaning to share with people on our radio shows, all these videos for a week or so, but we just keep running out of time. And that, of course, is the latest dramas that Dictator Dan is now facing after a court very recently ordered him to hand over both his phone and credit card records after the crash that he had with a teenager 10 years ago. So here is the article. You can see it there. Now, I've just done a printout myself so I can read it a little more clearly, but I'll hold that up so you can see the article that I'm referring to there. And it's entitled, as you can see there, Court Tells Dan to Hand Over Records. And this is what it says. It says, Daniel Andrews has been ordered to hand over his personal telephone and credit card records relating to a Blairgowrie car crash involving a teenage cyclist. The former Premier was personally served with a Supreme Court subpoena outside his Mulgrave home last week. The subpoena requires Mr. Andrews to produce a series of documents relating to the day that Ryan Mullerman, then just 15, was struck by the Andrews family car in January 2013. It can be revealed Mr. Andrews has engaged Arnold Block Liebler to represent him in the case, the same law firm his former government used to broker a massive taxpayer-funded compensation deal over the shock cancellation of the Commonwealth Games. Another wonderful use of taxpayer money there. ABL is also acting for the former Premier's wife, Catherine Andrews, who was driving at the time of the crash. Now, again, I don't have a lot to do with lawyers, sorry, my bad. But it's my understanding that they can't act for two different parties because, that are related, because that would be a conflict of interest. Again, possibly I'm wrong, but it seems like something doesn't quite add up there. ABL was approached for comment about the subpoena, but did not respond. The phone records will be relied upon as part of the damages action launched by Ryan's lawyers to ascertain who Mr. Andrews called in the aftermath of the near-fatal crash, including whether he spoke to then Chief of Staff, current Police Assistant Commissioner Brett Curran. Mr. Curran has, of course, declined to clarify if he received a call from Mr. Andrews from the scene of the smash. I mean, if he didn't, why not just come straight out and say he didn't? I'll leave you to draw your own conclusions. Victoria Police, the TAC, Traffic Accident Commission, State Treasury Office and the OOO operator have also been slapped with subpoenas. Ryan's legal team accused law firm Slater and Gordon, which acted for him in the aftermath of the crash, of failing to conduct a full and proper investigation into the circumstances of the collision. The labour-aligned practice is accused of failing to act in Ryan's best interest and breaching its duty of care and obligations to him when negotiating his $80,000 TAC compensation payout. Mr. and Mrs. Andrews have always maintained Ryan's bike T-boned their forward territory, while Ryan insists that Andrew's car was speeding and seemed to come out of nowhere when he was struck near Melbourne Road in Blairgowrie. Secret police photographs uncovered by the Herald Sun in November 2022 support Ryan's claims, revealing extensive damage to the front of the car and its windscreen. In April last year, the Herald Sun revealed an Ambulance Victoria report detailed the car struck Ryan while travelling at 40 to 60 kilometres an hour. The patient care report made by paramedics who attended the crash and was buried for a decade was at odds with the Andrews' claims they came to a complete stop and turning right from a stationary position just moments before the collision. And it goes on to explain some of the details. So if you're interested in finding out about that, I urge you to please make sure you have a look at that article. Now, it seems like things get even worse for good old Dan, because a very special Facebook group has actually been set up following that story. And I urge everybody who's on Facebook to go and follow this page. It is entitled The Bike Boy Scandal. Okay, and again, you will find a link on the Facebook video to this Facebook group in the comments section. So as it says here, the introduction to this page, the car crash Daniel Andrews wants us to forget. Andrews' wife Catherine hit and almost killed 15-year-old cyclist Ryan Muellerman in 2013. Ryan is seeking justice through the courts after 10 years of being silenced and treated unfairly. And there's a whole list of the media reports and articles that are now starting to resurface, and people are starting to speak about this. So again, if you want to give Dan hell, support that Facebook page, let them know that you are 100% behind them, and let Dan Andrews know very loudly and clearly that the past is not forgotten. I want to make again clear, I mentioned it just before in regards to that Facebook page, that it's, for those of you who are following and watching this, down the track on YouTube, okay, they can only find these links on the comment section of the Facebook video. Okay, I had a couple of Muppets complaining on the last video update that I didn't put every single link to every single thing that I referenced in the video, up on every single social media platform that we share these on. Okay, I mean, come on, people. A, I actually have a life. I don't just spend my whole time sitting on a computer behind a keyboard. And B, let's put in a little bit of effort. Okay, and let's do a simple online search for some of the articles or links or groups that I mention on these videos. Okay, the whole reason that we're all in this mess that we're in right now is because people nowadays just want to be spoon-fed. They want everything handed to them. They don't want to put in the slightest bit of effort themselves. So please, let's keep things in perspective. Let's have a little bit of appreciation for the insane amount of time that goes into me preparing all of these, weekly video updates, let alone the weekly radio shows that I do on top of these as well. Okay, and let's just put in a tiny bit of effort and do our own searches for those links online if you're watching this on another platform. And look, it's great, and I totally understand that you may have, woken up and, got off Facebook and all that sort of stuff, but you've got to understand that many of the very people that we're trying to get across to and help to wake up are still on Facebook. So that's why these links appear in the comments on the Facebook videos. And look, by all means, if you're on YouTube and you're watching this on YouTube and you want to put each of the links up, manually yourself to everything that I mentioned, by all means, you are more than welcome to do that. And I'm sure others on there will appreciate it, but there's only so many hours in a day and only so much I can do. So anyway, back to that article about Dan Andrews. I'm sure that Dan had well and truly hoped that after all that time passing that everyone had forgotten about it. But thankfully, of course, they haven't. And I'm hoping that this is really going to be the theme for this year, 2024, as lots of other news keeps coming out. The fact is, the truth always comes out in the end. Karma always catches up with everybody, no matter who you are. So those in positions of power, especially those who have been abusing that power, should definitely be very careful this year, because I predict more big truths and more people being called out and more people being held to account this year. Now, speaking of holding people to account, as I'm sure many of you know, especially long-term viewers of these videos, I work at a number of major events each year, including, of course, the recent Moomba event here in Melbourne. And I just wanted to personally call out the absolutely disgraceful behaviour of a number of parking officers who, despite the Moomba attendance numbers being down significantly this year due to the hot weather, the fact, of course, that the Moomba parade was cancelled, that these particular parking inspectors chose to specifically target Moomba patrons, Moomba attendees, and issue them unjust and unlawful parking fines. So here's the media article if anybody missed it, or if anyone, of course, attended Moomba and maybe got one of these tickets. It's entitled, Parking Inspectors Caught Targeting Moomba Festival Attendees. Parking inspectors have been caught targeting and booking people parking near the Moomba Festival. Those who chose to park their car on Alexandra Avenue were seen being booked despite the meters being covered up on the public holiday. Again, public holiday, parking's supposed to be free. I was walking down to Moomba and noticed parking inspectors booking almost every single car in a row, Jamie told 3AW Drive. Deputy Lord Mayor Nicholas Rees clarified what happened, saying that there were special Moomba Festival parking permits which motorists needed to pay attention to. Come on, guys. It's an event to get people together. It's an event to get people out watching the water skiing, going on the carnival rides, bringing people into Melbourne, spending their money. And, you know, what do these parking inspector muppets do? They go on and, you know, and issue them tickets. I mean, it's just the lowest of the low. You know, again, the Moomba parade was cancelled. Those parking permits were issued, you know, for parade day for people to park so that they could attend the parade and do things there. It didn't happen. So there was absolutely no reason other than pure greed for those inspectors to be issuing those tickets on those days. Nobody else missed out on any important spots that they needed or anything else. So please, as always, I would urge anyone who received one of those unjust or unlawful parking fines, or of course indeed has received any type of, you know, unjust or unlawful fine, to make sure that you challenge that fine, please, using that tried, tested and proven three-step process from Chapter 3 of that Aussie Speeding Fines book. Again, these guys have been around for 17 years now, so you absolutely know that process definitely does work. Now, I usually leave these till the end of the video, but it seems appropriate to share that with you now. And I've got yet another testimonial from another one of the members that used that Aussie Speeding Fines process to have a ticket withdrawn. So you can see here very clearly this is a letter that's been issued by the City of Moonee Valley, and it clearly says there, parking infringement matter number. I'm writing in response to correspondence received such and such regarding the decision to proceed with the above mentioned parking infringement notice. I've reviewed this matter, and while I deem that the infringement and review response were issued correctly, as no park of a vehicle can block access to the footpath, I've made the decision to withdraw this matter and issue a warning in its place. No further action is required from you in regards to this matter. Should you wish to discuss any details, feel free to contact. So again, it was clearly withdrawn. This person's used that three-step process from the Aussie Speeding Fines book. Again, you'll find a link in the comments, but also in the description from this video, no matter where you're looking. If you don't yet have that book, make sure you grab it, because it absolutely works when you stick to the process and the time frames. Now, I do have some other positive news to share regarding parking fines, and this time it's actually from New South Wales, where the New South Wales government has actually ordered all councils to go back to issuing paper tickets, and this of course is specifically in order to give people more opportunities of successfully challenging those fines. So here is the article, and I certainly hope that the other states that have councils that issue paperless fines will take note and follow suit. So this article is entitled, Ticketless Parking Fines Scrapped in Great News for Drivers. Motorists have been left outraged ever since an unfair and costly parking fine system was introduced. Now things are set to change. There's nothing more frustrating than going through your mail only to find a nasty surprise awaiting you. a parking fine. What's worse is that it's from weeks ago, so it's too late to collect evidence such as photographs from the scene showing the signs where you parked and the time, or take down any details, so it becomes near impossible to dispute the fine, unless you've got the Aussie Speeding Fines book. In what is sure to be music to many motorists' ears and hip pockets, things are about to change. The New South Wales government has ordered councils to revert to the old way of enforcing parking fines by ditching ticketless fines and going back to paper. The move follows widespread community outrage upon the introduction of ticketless parking fines, which came alongside a surge in revenue to almost $140 million from fines, the Daily Telegraph reported. On Friday, the Minister for Finance, Courtney Houssos, wrote to 128 councils, urging them to scrap the ticketless parking system due to its shortcomings. While there are some benefits to the ticketless system, I'll bet there are, I'm aware of community concerns around the issuing of ticketless parking fines, particularly the timeliness of fine notifications, she said. I believe these concerns can be addressed by implementing some simple administrative measures. She requested councils provide drivers with immediate written notification at the time they are issued a parking fine, such as a note on the windscreen. This had previously not been required. Doing so will provide drivers immediate notification that they've been given a parking fine and will allow them to take their own photos and note down any relevant details. Houssos also called for councils to ensure photographic evidence is captured and transmitted to Revenue New South Wales. The current implementation of ticketless parking system has eroded trust in the parking fine system. Was there ever any trust in the parking fine system? Really? Not so sure. Houssos said that under the ticketless system, drivers can request images of the alleged infringement. However, it is hard to gather evidence. The ticketless fine system started as a trial in May 2020, and they made lots of money. And it sees councils sending details of a fine to Revenue New South Wales, which then sends a penalty notice by post or the Services New South Wales app to the driver. NRMA spokesperson Peter Curry said the system clearly has flaws. You think? If motorists only learn they've been fined weeks later, it takes away the transparency of the scheme and stops motorists from getting their own evidence. It's also not a deterrent. If you park at the beach and you see parking fines on people's windscreens, it reminds people that parking officers are out and about and to do the right thing. Well, what is the right thing? I mean, the right thing is, obviously a very subjective phase. I mean, anyone who's listened to our last few radio shows will know that Darren has explained in detail how the states cannot lawfully issue a fine for any offence that's not actually listed in the national road rules. Now then, just on this past week, or just Tuesday, 2 nights ago, Darren and Daryl both explained in detail why councils are not part of the Crown and why that means that they lawfully cannot be part of the true government. And therefore, of course, why they have no lawful power to issue fines or penalties, which of course only courts of competent jurisdiction can do once all the evidence has been fully ventilated and they make a court order or court ruling. So please, if you've missed any of those radio shows, please do be sure to join up as a podcast member, and do keep in mind it costs less than $5 a week. To join up as a member. You do get access to all of our past podcasts. It's not just, that year. You can access all 9.5 years worth of podcasts. All the music's edited out, so it's just the straight content. You get the notes for each podcast, each of the articles that we read out on each podcast, and you even get a transcript of each podcast or each radio show as well. So it is exceptional value. You'll find the details on our membership page. Now, on the subject of shows, just in case anyone missed it, I'd want to make sure everyone is aware that we have now formally announced both the dates and venues for each of our live events around the country this year. We're going to be in Sydney in May, so that's less than 2 months away. We're going to be in Melbourne in late May, early June. We're going to be in the Gold Coast in mid-July, up in Townsville at the end of July, Adelaide in August, and then Perth in September. And then, of course, we're going to be finishing off the year with our one-off Ultimate Mastermind Boot Camp. That's the absolute culmination of everything that we've researched and what we teach to people, and that is going to be back up on the Gold Coast in October. So you can take a few days off either way, make a bit of a holiday out of it. So you can find out all of the specific topics that we're covering on each day of those events. You can also find out the start and finish times for each day. Yes, it's all there on the website. People email us about it every year. It's all there. You can book your tickets. It's all via the seminars page. Again, you'll find links in the description on the video on any social media platform and also in the comment section on Facebook. Now, also do make sure you keep in mind that we do have that special 20% off early bird discount for everyone who books their tickets before midnight this coming Tuesday. So that's Tuesday, the 19th of March. You have to book before midnight though, so do get in quickly if you want to take advantage of that special discount offer. All right, so to finish off, as we always do, I'm going to go through the latest memes to really get people thinking. Yes, this one came across my desk, and I had a good laugh, as it says there, the latest book from Volodymyr Zelensky, The Art of Money Laundering, How I Made $40 Billion Working from Home. I'll leave that one alone. Yes, this one, and this is, people always go, oh, tax this, tax that, tax, and everything is tax. This is why we talk so much about tax and personal income tax and the ATO, because of these points. So as it says there, the basic ways government steals your money. If you earn it, income tax. If you live somewhere, property tax. If you spend it, sales tax. If you save it, inflation tax. If you invest it, capital gains tax. If you start a business, licenses. If you own a good business, profit tax. If you give it away, gift tax. If you die, inheritance tax. Okay, they want to tax you on everything. The government wants to put their grubby little hands out and take a portion of your hard-earned money no matter what you do. Okay, how is that right? How is that just? Okay, it's just simply not. So again, if you are frustrated with that, like I know a lot of people are, please make sure you look on our page, on our tax page. Have a look at our the tax chapter in our Know Your Rights book. Again, you'll find a link in the description to that. There should be one going up in the comment section as well if you want to learn more about the tax, the truth about the ATO, and the like. Yes, the good old digital ID. We spoke about the MCG here in Melbourne, which is now bringing in digital ID and AI biometrics. There's a lot of talk about digital ID, and as it says there, okay, very clearly, okay, digital ID is not to identify yourself. That's what they tell you it's about, but of course that's not what it's really about. It's about tracking and tracing your every move. As with everything the government does, it's all about controlling the population. That is all they are interested in. So please keep that in mind as more and more is spoken about digital ID, director ID, digital cash system, cashless digital systems, all those sorts of things. Yes, and another good one on the old trust the science. Okay, as it says there, I do trust the science. I absolutely do trust the science. However, coercion is not science. Censorship is not science. Fake data is not science. Manipulating results is not science. Cherry-picking studies is not science. And fear-mongering is most assuredly not science. Okay? I'm sure you can all connect the dots. I'm sure you all understand what I'm referring to there. And hopefully you're all aware about the truth that is slowly but surely coming out about all of that in the mainstream media. And this is why this whole trust the science mantra was being shoved down everyone's throats for the last 3 or 4 years. But again, people didn't get the opportunity to question all the other things. And that, of course, is the issue. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this one because this is so, so important and so, so true. This is what they are working on. This is what they are literally banking on. Okay? They are counting on you to stop talking about the truth. They are counting on you to be too tired, too hurt, too stressed, too distracted, too busy, etc. They're all the excuses I hear every day. They are counting on you giving up. Don't stop. Don't ever give up. No matter how long it takes, keep standing your ground and keep fighting the good fight. So I'm going to leave things there on that note. As always, I do urge you to please make use of all of the resources that are available to you to please get informed, get fired up, and get proactive. We need that again this year more than ever. As always, there's plenty of completely free information on our website, on the other websites that we mentioned. There's links in the description to those. Of course, these videos, again, completely free to watch. You'll find them on our videos tab on our Facebook page. If you've missed any of the past ones and you want to find all of those links, you'll also find them on our BitChute channel, and we are uploading a number of them to our YouTube channel as well. Now, of course, if you want to go above and beyond that, we do recommend our Know Your Rights book, The Essential Step-by-Step Manual for Understanding and Exercising Your Rights. I mentioned that before. That Aussie Speeding Fines book, again, if you want to challenge any types of unjust or unlawful fines. And I know a lot of people are struggling financially, so please stop throwing good money after bad at these unsecured loans, your credit cards, personal loans, things like that. Grab that Bank Secrets book. Again, there's links in the description, there's links in the comments, and you can get these individually, or you can get them all as part of the combo pack as well. You do, of course, get that Know Your Rights tote bag included as a little bonus, completely free of charge, if you want to save a little bit of money by getting the combo pack. Don't forget, we've got our caps and beanies. Again, a great way to protect your head. People see the logo, they come up, they have a chat. Great way to meet like-minded people. I know a lot of people are asking still about the USB CD and DVD drives. So there they are there. They've got the USB-A and USB-C connector. So they work on a PC, laptop, Mac, desktop, whatever you like. You can put USB drives in and convert everything from the CD, DVD straight over to USB. You can put onto an SD card. So if you want any of the great information we have on things like our Constitution CDs, Commission reports, Halsbury's laws, you know, the Understanding Trust discs, any of the discs, the CDs, DVDs that we have on our shop pages, and you don't have a CD, DVD player on your computer, grab one of those. We do have a handful of them available, and again, you'll find links in the description. Of course, don't forget those live events, but if you can't make it to the live events for whatever reason, make sure you grab our home study course. It is a complete recording of one of those 2.5-day events. There's 17 DVDs, a CD with all the documents that we use ourselves for challenging all those things. There's 3 custom-made workbooks. There's sections there to write notes next to every single slide from every single presentation. Pause, rewind, fast forward in the comfort of your own home at your own pace. It is a really brilliant resource that you'll come back to year after year after year as you come across these different topics in your own lives. So I'm going to leave things there for tonight. Again, no live video on Sunday. I am just keeping them to the Thursday nights for the time being. We will, of course, be back next Tuesday night with our next radio show. Until then, have a fantastic weekend, everyone, and take care.